Here we are again. Welcome to Kiwi the Coast Real Estate and Lifestyle Show. Hit it, Steve.
Hit it, Steve.
That new one. Let's hit it.
We're ready.
I'm Kiwi of the Coast, the agent with the most tips, tools, and tactics for your home. The Kiwi of the Coast and team with the most qualified buyers for your home. The Kiwi of the Coast, when you want to sell the most, client satisfaction guaranteed. Client satisfaction guaranteed.
Hey, and welcome back to the Kiwi of the Coast Real Estate Lifestyle Show. We got the lifestyle in there because it really is a lifestyle real estate environment. Hi, I'm Kiwi, your host, and this is the show with the most tips, tactics, and tools for that sophisticated real estate lifestyler out there. Now, you know who you are. Show 16, guys. I know Sugar Shane's all excited. That's Sweet 16. And this is a show on how not to wear, what not to wear. Do not wear a striped shirt on a live show. You're going to look like a zebra like me. We should be playing the Lion King theme because we got a couple of zebras. And our guest is also wearing a striped shirt. So, hey, just for the audience to remind you what's coming on, stick around and watch because we've got loans, mortgages. What is the best loan for you and why? We got Sam.Isaac. He's one of the best in the business. He's with GRA. Sounds like one of those Russian organizations, but that's Guaranteed Rate Affinity. And he's in the mortgage hot seat to answer all those questions and more. So stick around for Sam. And of course, we've got the old spoon full of sugar. That's Sugar Shane's favorite spot. He gets to talk about what's happening up the hill and the Kiwi squeeze. And that's where Carlos likes to just squeeze me, and more about that later. So, hey, before we get started, here is a quick team intro. Waiting for that countdown because we got to introduce the team. It's coming. I know it's coming. I got to talk through this.
Oh, no. Team intro. What's going on?
Where's my sound?
All right. Hold on.
Play it again, Sam.
Yo, this is why people get fired.
There's the countdown. We like that.
3, 2, 1.
Here's the gang working hard on our next real estate presentation. Shane Gillum, our field specialist, Carlos Cepeda, technology, and so.
Oh, stop it. And this is the kind of technology we have here.
Shall I just keep going?
And yes, we are.
Hey, and anyway, live in the studio today, we had a few technical hitches there. That's why we're going for the V mix, getting away from our B live because it's a bit B unlive, but B dead sometimes. Anyway, hey, with me in the studio, we got Shane Gillum, Sugar Shane. What's been happening? You had Sunday football, day off on Sunday. How you doing?
Doing good. Thanks for the day off. Watch the Broncos beat the Raiders. Go Broncos.
Yeah. And then young Steve Cepeda, as we're calling him now, you know, he's dropping the Carlos vernacular. Steve Z, he's on the ones and twos. He's always working hard. He's our techie dude, pushing all the buttons. Hey, you had a big move over the weekend, Carlos. What were you up to over there?
Big move. Still a little bit sleepy and tired. That's why I'm wearing my sunglasses today.
Yeah, he's moved over to the resort over there with the Irvine Company, so he's loving life, just hanging out by the pool on the weekends. And then a big shout out to Ann on the team, and she was out looking at some of those ocean fronts, and we had a little rendezvous there. There she is, looking very glam, out there, so cute, out by that big new listing in our office there in Cameo Shores on Brighton. Worth seeing. Beautiful home. Anyway, guys, what a week it has been. We got 3 in escrow this week. It's been a very busy week for us, and we've been running out to sell homes, but we're running out of homes to sell. I'm going to have to send Sugar Shane out on vacation here. But
no, we need more listings.
We do. And what's the secret, Sugar? What's been the secret to selling those homes, do you reckon?
Well, been pretty successful as of late, as you said, Kiwi, but has to be staging. Number one on the list there. Stage your home. Have it professionally staged. It helps. It sells the house, I promise you.
Staging. And what about pricing, Sugar? What do you think about pricing?
Also, price your home correctly. a lot of people we've been seeing have been coming out overpriced. You got to do price reduction. Your days on market add up. Just price the home correctly in the beginning of the shootout on the MLS, and your house is going to sell quick. This is that up on the screen there? That's a good example of staging there at 8 Tarascon. We just put that under contract in about 30 days. So priced it right and staged it.
Exactly. And it's not that hard to do if you've got the very good team, which we have internal in terms of our interiors and our staging expertise. And of course, we've got great painters that can make a house look like that, change it from the Tuscan and deliver that sort of product, which then sells if it's priced right. Like Sugar Shane says,
absolutely,
that's the way to go. So young Carlos has been doing some great behind the scenes work. And I thought I'd show you what sort of a blow up we're getting on our YouTube channel. He's going to throw up our YouTube diagnostics. Now, you got to put this in perspective here. Our channel, the Team Kiwi Real Estate channel, has had over 191,000 views.
Whoa.
Whoa. So think about it, folks. If you are thinking about listing your home out there or using us, we've got a way of projecting this home and blowing your property up. Not figuratively, of course, speaking figuratively, but getting it out there to the masses. So working down here, that's 48,000 minutes of watch time. Now, that's a lot of watching. It translates to 810 hours. 810 hours, my gosh. 33.76 days.
Whoa.
Now, I don't know how anybody can watch Sugar Shane for that long, or me for that matter, but that is incredible.
Well, we appreciate it, don't we? And also, I think a quick note on that, that's going out to targeted people that are potential buyers, sellers in the market. That's not just everyone in the world going to the wrong place. Those are going directly to people that we are targeting that are potential buyers.
Exactly right. And that's a big fetch. That's a lot of coverage in a very small area, mostly in our geographic. So think what we would do if we projected it up to LA and out of Orange County, which is our next move, of course, to maximize the exposure of the homes that we represent. So, hey, segment number one, this is our favorite segment, loans, mortgages. What's the best loan for you and why? We got Sam.Isaac in the hot seat with GRA. I know that was a bad Russian joke there for Mr. Trump, I think. But anyway, Guaranteed Rate Affinity. He's in the hot seat. Answer all those questions. But Shane's got a couple of questions. Well, it's your turn now, Shane.
Oh, you mean Isaac? You mean Isaac Newton?
Isaac Newton, yeah. Well,
what goes up must come down. Gravity, guys, like interest rates.
Yeah,
what's been going on there?
No, he's not Isaac Newton. He's not Isaac Newton. There's no apples falling in this scenario with Sam.Isaac. What's your next option?
Newton? I don't know, like Fig Newtons.
Fig Newton? I don't know. Can we get a Fig Newton photo of? There we are. Hey, now I love Fig Newtons, but no, Sugar, you're always thinking of your stomach. But we must, perhaps we should start calling our guest Figgy for short, because now we will always remember Fig Newtons were on the show. But anyway, poor Sam, he's getting a bit nervous out there. Big shout out to Sam. He is the Isaac Newton of the loan business. And let's please welcome Sam.Isaac. He's the VP of Mortgage Lending with Coldwell Bankers, in-house lender, Guaranteed Affinity, Rate Affinity, GRA. How you doing there? Big shout out to you.
Hey, Sam.
There? Hi, guys. Thanks for having me. I appreciate being here.
Yeah, and you probably appreciate being called Fig Newton and Isaac Newton in the same breath, you poor guy.
I can deal with that. It's a pleasure being here with you guys, and I'll take that nickname.
Yeah, no, we like it, man. You're one of our favorites, and Sam is really one of the best in the business. So, but back to the reason you're here. We want to talk about loans. We want to talk rates. So, Sam, but before we do that, how did you get started in this crazy loan business, this crazy mortgage business?
Well, actually, it goes back a long time ago. My father had a mortgage company back in the 70s. I didn't mention that to you, but I worked there going through college, and back then rates were a nice 16-17%. Ooh. So I worked going through college at the mortgage company, but then moved to Los Angeles, about 30 years ago, we'll say, and got myself into the restaurant and entertainment business. So that's
so you've been involved with some hard businesses. I mean, the loan business not easy. The restaurant business must be even tougher. But I think your wife still runs the restaurant, doesn't she?
Yeah, well, we've had a catering and special event company for about 30 years. So we've done high profile clients like Leonardo DiCaprio, Frank Sinatra, uh, just
See,
a
I
bunch of
never.
celebrities. And as you can imagine, dealing with those clients for events like their wedding day, things like that, it's very stressful, very important day for them. So you do a lot of hand holding and kind of work with them. So it kind of translated into the mortgage business because when I'm working with these buyers, I literally have to walk them through the entire process and kind of help them understand how to get through it.
No, and you mentioned the hand holding and the setup and how you work with them so closely. You know, you've got a big care factor there. So you've been in the loan business, I think, about 15 years, and your background was in marketing and business, as you mentioned, right?
Yeah. So I was the CFO for our event company and marketing and business background, and I had an opportunity about 18 years ago to work with a friend who was in the mortgage business and with Coldwell Banker. And he kind of brought me in and trained me, and I was fortunate. I got to be the in-house lender at Coldwell Banker, and it was pretty tough to get in. So I've kind of remained here for 18 years. Very happy here.
No, 18 years. It's a great tenure. And I know Sugar's got a question because we've had some name changes and some buyouts. What's been going on there, Shane? You asked that quick.
Sam, what's I know Guaranteed Rate Affinity, that used to be First Capital, didn't it? Change their name. What's that all about?
Yeah, so last year we got purchased by Guaranteed Rate Affinity, and they're about the 8th largest mortgage company in the United States. They're doing about $40 billion a year, and that translates into better loan programs, interest rates, and things for consumers. So it was a win-win to have them come in and buy our company, and so nothing's really changed. We're in-house, and all the Coldwell bankers throughout Northern and Southern California, we just are now on the GRA lending platform.
Yeah,
No,
sounds
that's
like a better program for your clients then, yeah?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They've got some amazing loan products, and just with the volume they do, they can just offer lower interest rates and just more affordable programs too, lower down payments, things like that.
Yeah, and speaking of your clients, who's your typical borrower?
Well, I get a broad range here in the Coldwell Banker office. I have people that are purchasing $3 to $5 million properties. So I'm doing some bigger loans, 50% down, loans on the up to say 15 million. We can do 50% down.
Those are some big numbers. There's a lot of zeros behind that 15.
Yeah, and then at the same time, I'll service their kids or grandkids who are buying, first-time buyers who are buying homes. So I kind of do everything.
Yeah, so you've got the whole gambit there, and you've got a lot of repeat business, which is good to know. So what loan products are trending right now? We've kind of going to throw that up on the screen and talk about trending products.
Sure.
You got your traditional deals, your 30-year fixed, fully amortized. But what else are your traditional products, real quick? And tell us what you mean there.
Yeah, so on the traditional loans, those are people that are straightforward W-2 employees that show income on their tax returns, have their 20% or 10% down payment, and they just want to get into a nice 30-year fixed rate loan. So we have those, we call them our bread and butter loans. We do those all day long. But then we also have investors that are interested in cash flowing a property. So we offer our interest only loans. Those are mostly the ARMs, the 5, 7, and 10-year ARMs. So not only can you have these for owner-occupied properties, we offer them for investment properties, which a lot of investors don't.
And I think
allow
Shane
that.
was going to ask that question about the lower payment options.
Yeah, I was going to ask about just about the arms and whatnot, but you pretty much got it there. Options for lowering payments on interest only.
So, when you talk about a 10-1 or a 7-1 or a 5-1, what really is that, Sam? Tell us what that really is, over 30 years. What does that mean to the borrower?
Yeah, so basically you're getting a lower interest rate, but it's fixed for a shorter period of time. So like the 30-year fixed are right about 4 3/4 now. The 10-year ARM and the 7-year ARMs, they're in the low 4s, 3.75 to 4. So it gives you a nice lower payment, and especially if you do it as an interest-only loan. The thing that you have to explain to the buyers is that they have to realize that rate's going to be fixed for that term. So if it's a 10-year, it's fixed for 10 years. Then in year 11, it becomes adjustable. Each year after that, it adjusts. And it is a 30-year loan, but the rate increases after, the fixed
So is
period.
it interest only for the first 10 years or 7 years and then goes fully amortized over the balance of the term?
Yes.
How does that work?
Yes, that is exactly right. So you're going to have some payment shock. So it's a 30-year fixed rate loan. First 10 years are interest only. Then the remaining will amortize over the balance, the 20 years. So it's a bigger payment. So I advise my clients of that so they know, hey, be prepared for that. So you can get out of it beforehand, sell the property, move up, move down, whatever their goals are.
Yeah, because the most time, Sugar Shane and I, people are moving out of their houses in 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years usually. So some of these 30-year options aren't so advantageous over the long term, are they? If you're flipping around houses.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of my millennial borrowers right now, they're telling me, hey, this is a starter home for me. I don't think I'm going to be there, but perhaps 7 years. They're trying to grow into their incomes and the house, the family, and everything. So this interest only gives them like 7 years to kind of get their career going.
Yeah.
Then they'll buy their move up house, sell this one, and carry on.
Got it. Now, what about if I'm self-employed, like us real estate agents out there? What's open to us? I know you've got some tax return type loans and some others. Tell us about those if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. So it's challenging for self-employed borrowers right now because for years their CPAs, the goal has been to show as little as income as possible on the tax returns.
Right, and to minimize those taxes, right? So when you show a tax return, it doesn't show much usually. So you've got a problem.
Yeah, so it's a double-edged sword there because if you don't show it on your tax returns, then you can't use it as income. That's what's changed since the mortgage, meltdown of 10 years ago. But what we offer now is two types of loans. One of them is a great loan for them. It's called a bank statement loan.
So tell us about that.
Okay. So the bank statement loan, what it does is it will take 12 months of the business bank statements, and it will look at the deposits over that 12-month period and then annualize it, just divide it by 12, and then we can count 50% of that as income.
Oh, I see. So really what they're doing is they're saying, look, we understand that business owners are trying to minimize their tax exposure. They're being creative, but the reality is they've got cash flow and they can make the payments on that loan. Is that right, Sam?
Yeah, that's right. And that's much more lenient than other programs, other investors are offering out there. What they do is they look at the bank statements, look at the income, but they also deduct any expenses they see. So while that yields better than their tax returns, it still doesn't show much because businesses use that account in and out. So this 50% is pretty significant.
No, that sounds good. But now Shane and I, we've been working with a lot of move up buyers, and our biggest challenge in the marketplace, right, Sugar, is we've got someone who wants to sell their home, but they got to sell it, or buy a home rather. They've got to sell a home first in order to buy a home. It's our move up buyers. So, but some of our biggest challenge, what are some of the options that you offer on that situation?
Yeah. So that's a hot trending loan product right now. One of them is called departing residence loan, and that is if a buyer wants to move up, they haven't sold their home yet, but they do have a down payment. What we do is we allow them to count rental income on their current home to help offset the debt to income, the payment on that home, so it enables them to afford their move up home. So
even if we're selling the home, you can still credit some rent on the home that we're selling. Is that how it works? You do a rent survey, or do you actually physically have to have the home rented, or do they just estimate what the rents would be?
Okay, so the home can't be listed yet.
Yep.
Okay, so we don't list it at that time. We and then what we do is we'll do a market survey, a rental survey for it, and we'll use market rents on that. That is, one way to do it. Now, if they don't have the down payment and they need the down payment, they think they need to sell their home so they can get the down payment before they buy the next home, then we do our cross collateralization loan, which is a bridge loan. And basically, if they have equity in their current home, what we do is we use the value of both homes, the one that they're purchasing and the one that they're ultimately selling, and we basically use the equity and can do 100% financing. So if they're buying
I see what you mean. So
$2
you've
million
really got the security of two homes, the one they're
Yes.
buying, the one they're selling. That's that cross collateralization that you're talking about to
Yes.
make that deal work. So Sugar, Shane and I got some options then with these folks that are wanting to move up, because it's very difficult, isn't it, Shane, to although we've got some good strategies to do what we call a not a replacement home, but when you're purchasing another subject to selling their house, basically a subject to situation, we've got some skill there. But having these sort of loans means that we don't necessarily have to go down that route and declare that we have a home to sell, right? So, hey,
important.
we're going to dial your number because we might need a bit of cash right
What is
now.
it? What is that? 867-530 blah, 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 cash now.
I
Did
think
you get cash now?
Yeah. Hey, you got any money on you? We might need a little cash while you're here there.
I did bring some because I knew you were going to ask me for some Kiwi.
Yeah, I saw you show up with a little box of Shane's favorite color. You know, Shane's favorite color on the show is what color, Sugar Shane?
Green. Green is for the money.
Green for the money, go
Gold
for the
is
show.
for the. Well, for my babe.
So, hey, what's your best loan out there? You know, all things being equal, what's your smoking hot deal out there right now for consumers buying a house?
Well, excuse me.
In our marketplace, which is sort of the jumbo loans.
Yeah. So, I mean, I usually answer that with it's whatever loan meets the buyer's needs, right? So if whatever their goal is, they come to me, talk to me. I have like 40 investors. I match the borrower's needs to that particular investor, so I know that they're going to close the deal. And that's what it's about. It's about knowing what the investor, what their niches are. So
You're really a matchmaker. You're matching up people's loan needs with the right investor to get these deals done, rather than just trying to stuff these people in a box.
yeah. So if they want a low payment on their investment property, I put them in that interest only loan. It cash flows right out of the gate, and they make up their appreciation on the back end when they sell it, and so forth. So, but I'd say right now that 7 to 10 year interest only product is very popular.
Very popular. No, sounds good. Hey, which brings us to interest rates, because everybody's been talking about where they're going. Carlos is going to throw up our mortgage rate projections that have come from all the boffins here at Coldwell Banker and besides. Where are rates now, Sam? What's going on with your basic 30-year, jumbo type rates?
Right. So we're at 4 3/4 right now.
Sounds high, but really sounds low, right? I mean, it was 5% during the Korean War. They didn't see any rates lower than that for, 40, 50 years? And
right.
Now we're not even surpassing that. So still low, really, relatively speaking, right?
Still low. And then my ARM loans are the high 3s to 4%. So that's the 7-10-year ARMs. But having said that, that 10-year note yield is a benchmark for the longer term, 30-year fixed interest rates. And that yield is about 307 currently. And that's the highest it's probably been, I want to say, in 7 or 8 years. So that's putting pressure on the interest rates. And we will probably see 5% by the end of the year, if not pushing into the first of next year.
So Sugar Shane and I should be telling these people, buy now because rates are going up and your buying power is going to diminish as those rates go up. And now you've got a really easy sort of a rule of thumb, Sam, on how to determine how much lost buying power there is. So let me throw it at you. So on $1 million loan, every point, that's 1%, a rate goes up. How much does a borrower lose in buying power roughly?
That is going to be 10%.
10%.
10%.
So what does that translate to? I'm buying a home for, let's say it's $1 million. That means now I'm buying a house for 900,000 roughly.
Right.
Yeah.
So that is the trade-off. So right now, what I have buyers doing is they're paying points to buy the rate down, and that'll help increase their purchasing power. So the rate buy downs have become more popular.
So and then the seller or the buyer in a transaction can pay points to buy a loan down, right? The seller can do it to entice the buyer to have a lower payment if he wishes to do so too. I know we used to do this 20 plus years ago.
Yes.
You'd do 2 points to the buyer paid for by the seller so that the guy could qualify. It was a different environment, of course. But are you seeing some of that?
I'm seeing some of that start to come around because some of the buyers, they're like, what happened to the 3.5 interest rate? I got at the beginning of last year, and I'm telling them, well, that was almost a year ago. So basically those days are gone, and we're seeing the rates kind of move back to
left town with a Greyhound bus. Those rates got them while we could have get
right.
But we were all thinking 3, maybe they'll go to 2.5, and we're sitting there going, maybe they'll go lower. You always never can pick the low part of the market, and then you panic, and then you wait to refinance when they've gone up a couple more points when you can't stand it any longer.
Right.
Well, good. Well, Sugar Shane,
Sam, before you get out of here, it's truth or dare time. Truth or dare, my friend.
You didn't know that when you came on the show, did you?
Did not know that.
So does this mean he's going to be streaking around the office, Shane? What do you? Does he look like a streaker?
That's the truth, but you can pick dare if you want.
No. I'll go truth.
All right, what's the toughest loan you've ever closed?
The hardest, the nastiest, the grind, the longest.
Just haunts you in your sleep to this day.
Woke you up in the middle of the night.
Well, being in this office here in Newport Beach, we get a lot of savvy buyers, business people. And a few years back, I had a gentleman that had like 58 different entities, LLCs, S corps, this, that. It was just literally, and we weren't totally digital like we are now. So literally, when I went to his office to pick it up, I had 8 file boxes just full of his his tax returns and things. So my processor about shot me, but we got through all of them and got this done. It did take a little longer. It took 2 months, but we closed a $7 million loan. So it was worth the reward, but it was it was a nightmare. I'll say.
Yeah, nightmare. Kept you up, and but that's a fantastic result there. And man, I think after that, I'm going to have sleepless nights just thinking about those all offers.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Sometimes they're easy, sometimes they're hard, but we can do them all.
But you stick with the program. You stay engaged. You hang in there. He's got a very good conscience, and he works long hours. He's got a good team. It's not just Sam that you're looking at. He's got a lot of behind-the-scenes folks, right, Sam? About 4 people backing you up?
Yep, I got 4 people on my team, and they actually help me throughout the entire process. We got local processing, underwriting, everything is just right here in Newport Beach.
Fantastic. What's the shortest time you've ever closed a loan? Because I might need one in about 2 weeks.
Okay, so we have something that's called advanced underwriting. So I'm glad you asked about this. What I've been doing now for my buyers that have been in competition for properties is I get the loan in advance, everything we need, and I can send it to my underwriting team. Actually, without them even having a property, we get a stamped underwriting approval subject to them approving the property, and then I can close in 14, 15 days.
Yeah, so you're like almost an all-cash buyer then. You can pretend, and position yourself as an all-cash buyer, which is handy for Sugar Shane and I out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Competing with all those all-cash guys.
Yeah, I get the listing agent on the phone. They call me and they'll want me to explain my, pre-approval letter, and I let them know it's gone through underwriting. We just need the appraisal, property information, and they like that. It's a very strong offer.
Well, he's still here in the office, and it's after 7 o'clock. He normally would be closing those loans. He's a great guy to work with. Sam.Isaac. He's the Isaac Newton of the loan business here in the office. His cell number there, you can call him anytime, day or night, 818-422-8444. A lot of 4s in there and a lot of 8s. 818-422-8444.
Lucky numbers.
In the office. Or on email, Sam.Isaac at grarate.com. That's Grarate. Carlos will put it up there for everybody to see there at the end of the show. Great to have you with us. Thanks for spending the time. Wonderful. And we really appreciate you coming on the show today.
Thanks guys. A lot of fun. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody. Hey,
well, guys, now it's time for the old Kiwi ad because we are in the real estate business. We do this show every Thursday at 6:14. We kick off. So, but Carlos is going to play the ad so you know what we really. Hey, we built a little gap for Carlos because on the 1s and 2s, his fingers can't move that fast. But anyway, so Shane, what's your pet peeve this week? I know you're a little ruffled under the feathers about something.
Pet peeve time.
And you haven't moaned in a while. I mean,
no, I've been pretty good lately, right?
Pretty good.
I think this week would have to be counteroffers.
Yeah, not getting them or getting too many.
Working the deal, not getting them, unfortunately. Yeah, when, working the deal, sent out my buyer's counteroffer to the seller's counteroffer, and no response.
Yeah, and you presented in person, didn't you? You did the right things. You presented in
person to the owners, and then, sent out a counter without a response. We did receive one counter, and then as we sent back another, no response after that. Yeah, you've given me nothing to take back to my buyer. It's like you always say, Kiwi. It's like a game of tennis. You hit the ball into their court. Now you got to hit it back. Don't let the ball bounce in your court twice. So we basically have nothing to go with. Who knows where this deal could have gone? have got somewhere, but I really have nothing, and my buyers are a bit discouraged and looking to move for another property. So I'm out searching for a different property for them. It's unfortunate.
No, that's the right move. I mean, either that or you got to wait a while and see what happens. I mean, in 60 days, if they haven't had any offers, they really should respond to this one. But it happens from time to time.
It does.
Sellers do get a little emotional sometimes when they see something that's less than their expectations. But the only way to get it to their expectations is keep hitting the ball across that net, as Shane aptly explained.
Keep the deal alive, right?
Yeah. Anyway, it's time for Sugar Shane's favorite section. Favorite. Here it comes. Hey, he's on the ones and twos real fast. Hey, and this is where Sugar Shane lets the team and everybody know what's been happening up the hill. And by up the hill, we mean Newport Coast single-family homes. What's been happening up the hill there? Sugar Shane, take it away.
Kiwi, glad you asked. Last week, 58 homes on the market. This week, we're dropping 52, low.
Like weeks in the year, days in our lives, 52.
Yeah, here we go.
Now, that's a big drop, isn't it? And that's in the face of all this growing inventory they've been talking about in Orange County and the slower demand, but not in Newport Coast.
Yeah, that's a significant drop in Newport Coast, absolutely.
So what's going on there?
Basically, of note, up on the top there, you see we only have 4 under 2 million now. We've dropped 1 or 2 as of last week, gone under contract. So those properties under 2 million are selling, and some are selling quick. So if you have one, please give us a call. We'd love to get you listed and sold. Other than that, we have 3 Bridgeport. Our pick of the week is still there. That's up there in Newport Coast. We have
you showed that
2,399 asking price. I showed it.
What a trying here.
Hey, I'm trying to get it sold. I don't think that it'll last much longer. Huge lot, cool pool, big open floor plan. May need a bit of updating, but at that price point, I think there's some money to be spent on updating, and you'll still gain some equity after updating the home.
Right. Yeah, you've been diligent. That's a listing through our office there. If you want to pull in a big side yard, really look at 3 Bridgeport. So good. We got the average list price, $6,115,000 in Newport Coast, single family. That does not include Crystal Cove. What's the median? What's the middle house there, Sugar? Do you see that?
Medium house, $4,372,000. And yeah, Kiwi, on the average asking price, that's $6 million plus range. We've been up in the $6 million pretty much every show as the average asking price.
Yep.
But there is factors that go into why that number is so high. There are a lot of very expensive homes in Newport Coast, so those jack those averages up quite a bit.
Yep. And we are seeing the days on market edge up a little bit, and that's an indicator that some of those prices aren't what the buyers believe they really should be, right? I mean, they got to maybe adjust those.
Yeah, 188 days on market is the average right now. Now that also, Kiwi, I think has a bit to do with those higher priced homes over 10 million. There's quite a few homes over $10 million in Newport Coast. Those homes take a lot longer to sell.
They do. They're sticking around a while. Hey, what's been happening the last 7 days? We had some highlights.
Hey, glad you asked.
Yeah, I'm glad I did too.
No, a lot going on, like you said, in the past week here. So 6 new on the market. Of note, 21 Harcourt, that's back on the market. That's Newport Ridge North, and that's a fantastic home. $2,849,000 here in the office. It's got a big pool and a bit of a view of the reservoir and valley back there. So that's a very cool home. 14 Via Giada, that's Ocean Heights. That's a cool house. I think 5795, big home. Big views and updated. That's a beautiful home.
And REO. Now, you haven't seen that in a while. 2010, 11, we had a lot of REOs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not a lot, but we had plenty of REO activity up the hill. So that's real estate owned. That means the bank owns that property.
That's right.
That is a great front rower there up in Perizoo, Ocean Heights there, Sugar. And, man, I tell you, we've sold one along the street. And
we did.
This property really should get some offers. It's nicely done up inside. I don't know whether they just spent too much money inside, and now things have fallen over for them. But
looks like that could be the case. I don't know. Another one, 24 Timber Sea. That's in Crystal Cove. This is single level, big home up in Crystal Cove. It's been on and off the market before, but it's updated. We'll see if they get any action on that. People are always looking for single level Crystal Cove. So we'll see if there's some action on that. Otherwise, active under contract. We have 5 under contract. like you said, that's a lot in Newport Coast for 1 week, 7-day period.
That's good. And one of them is ours, right?
And Terrascon obviously is most important on that one, Kiwi. Right?
Yeah.
You got the job done over there?
Yeah, look at the days on market.
32 days on market. This goes back to what we were just talking about before, staging and pricing correctly.
And, of course, hiring the right team, that would be
true.
Team Kiwi.
That is true.
To market and sell your home. Yeah. Well, when you've got a seller that listens and says, okay, that makes sense. So we've ended up at 32 days, and there's 4 other homes with a significantly higher days on the market than that. So this shows you we're doing something right, or you're doing something right, Sugar Shane.
I think we all are.
Yeah.
The team is.
It's Carlos. It's all Carlos,
It's
really.
a team effort, 92 Cedar Cove. That's in the office. That's a good one to see go under contract too. That's up in Crystal Cove, the condos. We sold one of those last year.
Yeah, I think that they're priced it right now. We've sold one at 3.5. Now they're approaching that number. So I think that's a smart number to be at for those ocean view condos up there. That's still a big number for a condo, but that's some of the lowest priced homes in all of Crystal Cove are the condos there on Cedar Cove. Pending. You got a pending there.
6 Fair Harbor. That's $11 million property pending. That means that it is likely to close, that one. So we'll see if that one closes, but there's one of those over 10 million that's pending. So that's good to see as well. The big ones are selling as well. Closed wise, we have 3 total that closed this week. I think the biggest one of note is 35 Tidewatch. That's up in Crystal Cove as well.
We had a lot to do with that one in the early stages. We were selling 33 Tidewatch and successfully closed that last year. So
right next door.
Yeah, right next door. We were looking over the fence at this one when it was priced close to 10.
Yeah.
Listed through Coldwell Banker, our office.
Yeah.
Sold by others. The word on the street is the agent representing that buyer had donated quite a bit to the cause to get that one sold, and it was good to see that one go out. That's a great lot, great view. That was a great piece of real estate there. Right around it now, they're building custom homes. Now, originally it wasn't a custom. These were built in 2008 by the predecessor to the New Home Company, and 33 Tidewatch, big pool, big lot, big views, like a custom home. So, out the door at 8.585, I think, if I can read it. Hey, preview. We're out looking now. Sugar Shane had seen some of these. We'll go down the list pretty quick here.
Yeah.
About that goldenrod, the 433.
Some new builds there on goldenrod. That's this one's a back unit, I believe, the first one.
I think the 433's front, isn't it? 1,888,000. Could be wrong.
No, that's a back unit.
You're right, 1,237. That's because Sugar's seen it. Good on you.
But that's a beautiful home, though. The front unit just recently sold 2,750, I believe, 2,725. So this is the back unit of it, 1,888,000. If you want a beautiful new unit on the ocean side there, but can't afford the front unit, this is a great option.
Yep. The next one, big whistle on the price there, 28 million.
Oh, 28 million.
Listed through our office, one of our colleagues. Previewed it today. I mean, this is like going to Polynesia, this home. Beautifully configured for the lot. Really a fantastic way that they put the pool in there. Takes advantage of the ocean. And I mean, literally, you can hear those ocean waves breaking on the beach. That's at 4541 Brighton Road. Custom home, absolutely beautiful. All the finishes.
That's front row in Cameo Shores, isn't it, Kiwi?
Yep, front row.
Opportunities to get a front row home in Cameo Shores.
Yeah, very rare they come up, and very rare to have a new build. And anybody that sells one is ultimately regrets they did, because they could never get back into that market.
No, you really can't.
Heliotrope, that was a new build, I think, as well. The 22.795, 3-bedroom, 4-bath, right? You might know a wee bit more about that one. I think that
one also is a back unit, actually. Believe it or not, at $2.8 million. It's just a larger back unit, but that is a back unit at 2,795. Beautiful home, but is a back unit with a high price. On the front lot there, that home is for sale as well, and that's somewhere in the 3,895, I believe, just below that one there, Carlos.
We don't necessarily support that pricing, but it's pretty crazy out there for the new builds, what they're asking for those combination front and back units. I mean, you do the numbers on that. If you're a 3.7 and a 2.7, that's close to $6 million plus for the total package. That's a huge, huge number out there.
Yeah.
What do we got next? Hey, you can be on the island for $2,150,000. I think that's a duplex on the island.
Duplex on Balboa Island there at 206 Apollina. That's a cool little unit there if you're looking for some income, an income property, maybe an owner income property. Maybe you live in the front, rent out the back, live in the back, rent out the front, or just rent out both units. Great property right there on the island, though.
And then Bayfront on the island there, 407 North Bayfront for $3,895,000.
Yeah, you want to be on the water for a lesser price? Here you go, under $4 million. Got a very unique harbor that's been added on. That's not attached to the actual. You take a little dinghy out to the harbor, a floating harbor they call it, or floating dock, I should say. But very cool unit. Has quite a bit of square footage grandfathered in there if you want to remodel the home. Could use some updating, but hey, under $4 million in your waterfront.
And it was neat. Now I whipped back up to Newport Coast there to look at 7 Sea Haven, listed by one of our competitors there. But he's done a beautiful job. He's got it all repainted, so the Tuscan is gone. And that is a custom home in Newport Coast with some views. Now they're not direct ocean views. With some views, with a pool, nice off-street parking, and that showed very, very well there at $4,250,000. I think it is $4,250,000 on that one, $4,295,000 to be exact. So we looked at that one, and then we were also looking at some opportunities up the hill. We got 51 Overlook. Now this is a big, big corner lot up in Ocean Heights.
Big views.
I don't know if they're getting it right on the price though. They're still
up
6.9.
there. Still up there.
Yeah.
7 million up there is a big number.
And I keep watching it. There's no amenities in the backyard, but it's a big, big corner lot.
Big views.
It
Hey,
is.
I don't know. Put a price on the view, can you?
Yeah, and then we drop back down to earth. Boom, boom. At 8 Dolphin now. Investors, look at this one: 3 bedrooms, 3 baths. Look at the price per square foot.
$540.
Buy this
$540 per square foot.
quickly. $935, and that would rent very, very well because they've got a bedroom bath down. So $540 a foot, 8 Dolphin. Call us on that one. Get you in there anytime. Cool house, very cool house. Good tour this week. Hey, next segment is of course Kiwi's pick of the week. And look, if you want views. If you want a large backyard, if you want no homes behind, and you want less than $2 million, look no further than
3 Avignon. This home is not going to last long. I promise you. This is a spectacular buy.
It really is, and here's why. Look, no homes behind. You got a big backyard. Now it's a blank canvas. There's a lot you can do in there. There's the view looking out towards the city lights. Many of the people in Pelican Hill can't see the Disneyland fireworks, and you absolutely can from this fantastic location. Arguably one of the best lots in that neighborhood.
Yes,
now, the home needs a little updating, but it's been well looked after.
I like to call it unmolested, this home.
Unmolested. Yeah, it's non-moleste. Molestar, if I can get my vernacular right. So it's worth looking. It's got the 2-storied volume in there. It's about 2,500 square feet. Look, put downstairs where you see that backyard, put an awning on there, build an outdoor room, build a California room, they call it, and I'm moving in. I've really looked hard at that one. And
Kiwi, don't forget though, this home, all you need to do is cosmetic work. They've redone all the pipes and new AC in the last 3 to 4 years, have they not?
New AC. They've done all the PEX repiping in the house. You got the hardwood floors. Most of the appliances have been changed out. And again, I'd change the countertops, do some light work in there, and you got a great home. Do a bit more in the backyard. So
yeah.
Hey, thanks for diving in, Dallas Rains. That one should sell, right?
High chance of being sold in the next 30 days.
Being sold, yeah. What is that? A 70% chance of Dallas Rains raining dollars on that.
I give it a 90% chance in 30 days. What do you think? Want to take me up on that?
I think you're right. Hey, what time is it, Carlos? I know he's anxiously waiting for the.
Now it's time for the Kiwi.
And he just hit it just right. And, man, he's on those 1s and 2s. He's just jumping on. But this is where you get to ask the question, or we ask for your comments and feedback. And this is related to the mortgage. What's the worst loan experience you've had? Share with us. We want to hear all the dirt. It took longer. It was a nightmare. The paperwork killed us. We killed a forest. Do share. Comment down below. We want to have all your feedback on what was your worst loan experience. Obviously, it wasn't with Sam.
Sam gets it done.
Yeah, he gets it done. Hey, guys, it's I think it's time to wrap it up for another busy week of the Kiwi of the Coast Real Estate and Lifestyle Show. Guys, where are we at this weekend?
No more golf. I'm in Paso Robles. I'm going to have a little tour of our new listing out there.
New listing. Now, I didn't know we had anything in Paso Robles. Do we have a winery that you listed up there?
Justin Winery. I'm going to go ahead and do a little listing presentation. I think we're going to list the Justin Winery. I'm sure many of you have heard of that great wine out of Paso Robles.
Holding 2 glasses in your hand, I'm sure, and having a bit of a snack up there.
Whatever they want me to do, I'll do it.
I can't fault you for taking the day off because I've got the Indian Princess camp out in Catalina.
Okay.
That's at Camp Emerald Bay. That's a Boy Scout camp. Over there with the boys from Newport Coast and surrounds with our daughters. We'll be having a fun time. We'll be back Sunday just in time for those open houses. But, we don't have to worry because Carlos is on deck. Aren't you, Carlos? Huh? He's smiling, but, he's going to be doing all the open house and showing action. All levers canceled. Poor Carlos. He didn't know that was coming up. Anyway, hey, blast that ad one more time, Carlos, because they got to know that we're in the real estate business. Hit us on the 1, 2, 3s there. And hey, guy, that's about wraps it up for another week. Any last comments, Sugar Shane or Baby Z, as we call him?
No, enjoy the Indian princesses. That's cool. It's great to spend time with your daughter there.
I will. Don't take advantage of me, you other real estate agents out there. It's always a good time to spend some time with family. What about you, Carlos? What are you going to be
still
doing?
Finishing up the move there. Probably still have another bed to put together.
I don't have a truck.
Living room.
In case you're wondering, I don't have a truck.
If anybody has a truck out there and
and
handyman skills, let me know, please. Desperate need here.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't call us over the weekend because we would have really felt obliged to send Sam.Isaac out there to help you move. So we saved him a pretty serious.
No, congratulations on the move, though.
No help. No help.
We're coming out for your pool day, and especially on taco night on Tuesdays.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Over, huh?
Yeah, come on by. I'll make sure I'll let the security guards know.
Yeah, that's right. It's tight living over there.
That we can't come in. That is
exactly.
Hey, you heard it here first. I'm Kiwi of the Coast, so. Hit it one last time there, Steve.
Steve, where you at?
I don't know. Where is Steve?
I'm Kiwi of the Coast, the agent with the most tips, tools, and tactics for your home. The Kiwi of the Coast and team with the most qualified buyers for your home. The Kiwi of the Coast, when you want to sell the most, client satisfaction guaranteed. Client satisfaction guarantee.
Bye, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Kiwi of the Coast Real Estate Show.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.